Okay, here's the first assignment. It says a car travels for 200. First off, there's three things you need to write down up top here. You're doing distance, speed, and time. Speed equals distance divided by time. Distance equals speed multiplied by time. And then time equals distance divided by speed. Okay, so speed's distance equals distance divided by time. And that's all you're going off of is these three formulas. So it says a car travels 250 miles for a time of 5 hours, find its speed. Okay, so I'm using speed equals distance divided by time because I have to find the speed. So the distance is 250 miles times 5 hours. So we divide 250 by 5, which is 50. When you're finding speed, you label it mph, miles per hour. Okay, a car travels at a speed of 60 miles per hour for a time of 4 hours. Find the distance it traveled. So distance is taking the speed times the time. So distance equals speed 60 miles per hour times the time 4 hours. 60 times 4 is 240. If you're finding distance, that's just miles. 240 miles. Please label on these problems. Okay, I'm not a stickler for labels, but on this I am. Car travels a distance of 600 miles at an average speed of 60 miles per hour. Find the time it traveled. So time is distance divided by speed. Okay, so the distance traveled is 600 miles. The speed is 60. 600 divided by 60 is 10. So if you're finding the time, it took 10 hours. The trip did. Okay, a car travels a speed of 55 miles per hour for a time of 2 hours. Find its distance traveled. So distance is speed multiplied by time. So speed 55 multiplied by the time 2, that's 110. So distances are just miles. That's how far it traveled. Car travels a distance of 400 miles at an average speed of 80 miles per hour. Find the time it traveled for. So time is distance divided by speed. So for time equals distance divided by speed. So we're taking the 400 miles, dividing it by 80 miles. That's 5. Okay, so 5 hours. And last one, a car travels a distance of 300 miles for a time of 5 hours. Find its speed. Speed's distance divided by time. So the distance, you have 300 miles. The time, you have 5 hours. That gives us 60. Okay. Speed is mph, miles per hour. Okay. Flip over to the back side, you get 3 problems. You got 1 of each. Okay. You can look on the board for how to find it too. Then when you're done, resume the video and I'll show you how to do the other one. Okay, 18% of land in Florida is covered by water. Water covers 11,000 square miles. What's the total area of land in Florida? Okay. It says of after the percent, so that means it goes over 100%. If you want to get this right, you better label covered by water. Okay. The bottom's your total. And the 18's done. Forget about it. Water cover does okay. It says water covers 11,000 square miles, so obviously it's 11,000 is the amount covered by water. So I put 11,000 and then X here. Just cross multiply and divide. 100 times 11,000 divided by 18. 6,111. Or my bad, 61,111 square miles. Because that label's square miles and this one's going to be the same thing. 20% of my monthly check is spent on groceries. I make $2,000 in a month. How much is spent on groceries? So again, it says of after the percent, so it goes 20% over 100%. Okay, then the top part is spent on groceries. That's your total. Okay. Okay, it's 2,000. Do we spend $2,000 on groceries? I mean, I'm just asking. No, it's how much I make in a month. So that goes here. X goes here. So take 100 times 2,000 divided by 20, 10,000. Okay. Or wait a second, I screwed that up. My bad. The $2,000 is not spent on groceries. It doesn't go here. It goes here. X here. So I take 20 times 2,000 divided by 100. 400. So how much is spent on groceries? $400. You just found how much is spent on groceries. Okay, fraction. Okay, instead of putting in 100, you just go 2 over 3. 2/3 of the animals at the zoo are reptiles. There are 180 animals. How many are reptiles? Okay. All right, now the top are reptiles. Okay. And the bottom's your total. Okay, 180 animals, but they're not reptiles. They're just some number of animals you have. So that belongs here. X to the top. So I take 2 times 180. Divided by 2. 2 times 180 divided by 3, my bad. 120. So you have 120. How many are reptiles? 120. Okay. A set of golf clubs are marked 40% off the original price. The price is $360 after the markup. How much did the clubs cost before the markup? Okay, after the 40%, it doesn't say of like these did here, so you don't put it over 100. It's 40% off. So you take your percent times 4 equals after. Okay. Alright, so we're finding the before, so X goes here. 40% off, so I take 100% and minus 40%, that's 60%. Move the decimal twice to the left, 0.60. Okay, and then 360 is the after. Okay. And 360. Okay. So we'll circle the dots there. You just divide both sides by 0.60. Percent times before equals after. Just do it like that. Percent times before equals after. $600. 360 divided by 0.60. Okay, there's a problem. You can go on the assignment. There's one problem at the end. That's your assignment. Okay, a car traveling 70 miles per hour travels 75 miles farther than we did these last year too. I'm explaining it the same way. Okay, a car traveling 70 miles per hour travels 5 miles farther than a car that travels 60 miles per hour. Find the distance each car travels. Cars travel for the same amount of time, so you're finding miles, this and this. You don't use the units box in the corner. This is a speed, distance, time problem. We're talking about speed, distance, and time. So I'm going to make a chart. You split it in half and you make 3 columns. Okay. This is my speed. This is the distance. This is the time. And we're finding the distance. Okay, we have to figure that out. Speed is your mile, and then put fast and slow. Okay, speed is your miles per hour. You got 70 miles per hour and 60 miles per hour. So 70 is the fast, 60 is the slow. So now I can forget about the 60. Those two, I've accounted for that information. Okay, the distance. The only thing it tells us about the distance traveled is that one car goes 75 miles farther than the car that goes 60. That doesn't mean you just put 75 in one of them and leave it, okay? 75 miles farther means that faster one goes plus 75. But you don't know what is plus 75, so you put X. And this is just X without the plus 75. Because we don't know either. These two things are my answers, but I don't know them. But I know I can add 75 to the fast car. Okay, the time. Well, I'm out of numbers to put down. The only thing I know about the times is that they travel for the same time, so the times are equal. And I also know from this first sheet here that time equals distance divided by speed. Okay, so distance divided by speed, or D divided by S. So the distance here, you have X plus 75. The speed, you have 70. Distance here, you have X. The speed, you have 60. So line those up into an equation. X plus 75 over 70 equals X over 60. You can't cross multiply and divide. You got to use A, B, C, D. And it's not A, B. It's A, B, C, D. Okay? Then you can set up your parentheses. A times B, C times D. So A is X plus 75, put a 1 in front of the X. B is 60. C is X, put a 1 in front of the X. D is 70. Over here is easy. You already have a 1. 1X times 70, 70X. The other side you have to distribute your 60. Okay? So 60 times 1X is 60X. And 60 times 75, 4,500. Okay, you got X's on opposite sides, so you get rid of the smaller one by subtracting it. Line up your equals, you have 4,500, you have 10X. Now you can wall, dot, circle, and you can just divide by your 10. That's 450. So go up on your table, put 450 and 450. So the slow car just went 450 miles. My fast car went 450 plus 75. 525. Okay, next problem. A car traveling 85 miles per hour travels 200 miles farther than the car that travels 65 miles per hour. Find the distance each car travels. The cars travel for the same amount of time. So that's the same setup as the last problem. Speed, distance, time. Fast, slow. Okay, speed your miles per hour. It's going to be 85 and 65. I mean, if you're driving a car, you know that speed's miles per hour. Okay, distance. That's my answer to the problem, but I do know that one car travels 200 miles further than the other car, so I put plus 200. I don't know it, so it's X plus 200, and that's X. So time, all we know about the time is that they're equal, and that time is distance divided by speed. So the distance, X plus 200, speed, 85. Distance, X, 65. So I line that up into a proportion. X plus 200 over 85 equals X over 65. A, B is here, C, D. So I take A times B, C times D. So A is 1X plus 200, B is 65. C is X, D is 85. Put 1X times 85 is 85X. And I distribute 65 times 1X, 65X. 65 times 200, 13,000. X is on opposite sides, you get rid of the smaller one. 20x, 13,000. Then wall dot circle, so I divide by 20, divide by 20. Okay, 650 equals x. So I come up here, 650, 650. So 650 is the distance of the slow car, and then 650 plus 200 is 850. Okay, one car travels 75 miles per hour on a trip while another car travels 60 miles per hour. At the end of the trip, the first car traveled 120 miles further. How far did each car travel? Cars travel equal times. Okay. Fast, slow, speed, distance, time. Speed, your miles per hour, you got 75 and 60. Fast, slow, those are done. Distance traveled is all about the miles. Well, we don't, that's the answer to the problem down here. But we know that one car went 120 miles further than the other. So plus 120, x, x. Times are equal. Time is distance divided by speed. Distance x plus 120, speed 75. Distance is x, speed 60. X plus 120 over 75 equals x over 60. So A times B, C times D. So AB, CD. So A, x plus 120. B is 60. C is x with the 1. D is 75. So it's 75x. 60 times 1x is 60x. Don't put plus 120. You got to take the 60 times the 120. 7,200. X's are on opposite sides, so you have to simplify the equation. Get rid of the smaller x. Okay. Okay, the slow is 480 miles. Fast, 480 plus 120 is 600. Okay, you have one problem.